They've both come well prepared and well researched. Treant Protector and the Broodmother banned out by NoPing, and Winter Wyvern Viper taken out by Beast Coast. A pretty unconventional set of bans, especially from Beast Coast, but especially seeing that Treant up there. That surprises me a little bit.
True.
Yeah, that one's interesting.
Now
that seems like scrim stuff, maybe, because I can't recall Beast Coast even playing it. Maybe they did, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, they're probably playing a lot of it on scrims. The Broodmother, still like there's a lot of offlaners that don't play a lot of it. There's some offlaners just spamming the hell out of Brood. So if you have any possibilities of the offlaner picking it, I think you might as well just take it out, unless you have first pick and you play it yourself.
Oh, I know this guy. I watch SA Dota. I've seen a tiny or two.
Okay, do you Timber Saw now, Beast Coast? Because there's true strength heroes inside NoPing.
Pretty tempting. It's certainly something Whisper likes to play in general. So when you see heroes like this,
yeah,
seems a little early though, doesn't it?
And it's also really good against the Bristle.
Guys, you know who's coming out right now, right?
So you're not going to get it.
It's the Doctor. The Doctor's coming.
Yeah, well, he is pretty high on that ban priority list against Beast Coast.
The first phase ban every time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Timber's more value. But, I mean, yeah, the Doctor is great. It always feels kind of bad, to ban Witch Doctor second phase. But I don't think anyone ever feels bad of banning Timber second phase. So
there it is. Got to go for it. Out. See, now you get 3 bans to cover it, though, Trent. I thought you would like the 4th pick, Timber.
I don't think he's particularly good versus Centaur Warrunner. That's my problem. Sure, he's a strength hero, but
what's the caveat?
You have Stampede to deal with. You're not even laning versus him. The Tiny, I think, is also sure, he's a strength hero, but he also does 9 to 1200 burst damage.
True.
That's all magical too. So it's they're strength heroes, but it's not exactly the best in my opinion.
Tiny he goes in and out, right? He's all about the catch. So, and Timber's a little more about that sustained damage. He has some burst, but he likes those long drawn out fights where he can just wither you down.
Yeah, all I know is this is a hood game for Timber, and I would be very disappointed if Whisper buys anything that's not a cloak, very early on.
Real talk. Do you ban the Medusa if you're Beast Coast? Or are we going to see Stinger do a little flex here and let them have the Medusa and show us what their solution is? Because it's not banned yet. AA and Luna, those aren't Medusa.
Well, they don't have to ban Bat because they have Nyx. Because typically when you have Timber, you ban Lesh and Bat Rider, right? As those will be 2 or 3 bans usually. But with the Nyx Assassin, I think they feel kind of safe in that regard. So I actually think they probably should just ban Dusa.
I agree. I also feel I don't want to say this is an disadvantage necessarily, but the fact that Beast Coast, they never play Medusa, and the only game that they Luna, and it was a 24th Luna pick, so it was actually last pick, and they lost with it. It really feels like Beast Coast carries are very far away from what everyone else is doing. So I'm curious to see what they're going to pick. They actually take the TA over the Medusa. That's very interesting.
Well, I will say you definitely know more about how Medusa plays than this TA. When we've seen it, it looks really strong, and they probably have better experience versus just the Medusa in general.
Yeah.
The Invoker is also still in, whereas if they go TA, you obviously can't counter it with the Invoker. Could be something to consider. Not really much of a Beast Coast hero though, I suppose, but kind of comes to mind for both teams, right? With the Dark Mago maybe going to whip it out versus the Timber Saw, but then again, there's the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Beast Coast Invoker looks pretty hype. But geez, has Chris ever played Invoker?
I can't remember.
I gotta look for this. Is he Is he one of those? Is he a non-Invoker player? How's this never been brought up before? Let's see. Chris Luck, most played mid heroes. He has 8 professional games on Invoker. Wow. Oh wait, well, hold on. That was the wrong person. Sorry.
No. I think you're right.
Wait, what?
He has 13 Invoker games.
Yeah, there we go.
With a 53%, which, sounds okay, but when you look at his other win rates, 60% of the TA and 7 times more games, 60% of the SF, so definitely...
yeah, he's got a billion other heroes above it.
Yes.
When's the last time he played Invoker?
Good here?
5 months ago.
10 seconds.
Does
remaining.
Bristol look good? That's a great question. They have the Stampede. That feels
5
nice.
seconds remaining.
But there's also a Timbersaw, so that's kind of ugly. Probably not very good for NoPing. Playable for Beast Coast. In fact, probably good for Beast Coast.
Now that I think about it, I love the fact that they banned the TA over the Dusa. Because if you think about the way Dusa plays versus TA, right? Timber, when he doesn't build a lot of stacks, he can actually get 3-shotted by a TA if she's farmed enough. But the Medusa doesn't do that much damage. It's like very slow building up. So I think in a way the Timber is really good against the Dusa, and they don't even care about it that much in terms of like actually taking fights versus her.
Bodied with this Witch Doctor pick.
The snipe.
They stole an actual block pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even memeing. That's legit. Just like, do we play this hero? No, but they do. Like, what? They play this hero like once this season.
Oh.
5 snap. Interesting.
Could be metal, but yes.
True. Yep, could definitely be middle with Beast Coast.
All right, so I think Beast Coast is lacking some push right now. I wonder if I guess the Timbersaw is probably going to be Whispers. They usually, give him that Shrek a lot. So I wonder how they're going to approach the fact that they have very little push. Do you lash middle? Do
10
you?
seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's a good question. Also, what are they going to do about this
the
now?
DK? We go back for old Dragon Knight. He's worked well for. Is it Analog that was playing so much Dragon Knight?
Yeah, he played a full series of Dragon Knight, I think.
It's a bit specialist. Maybe not a Chris Luck hero. Want something more? Are there any Chris Luck heroes that push? I guess like DP.
Ooh, they actually void again. Okay.
Well, this is the classic against Centaur now. We've liked this a little bit. Snapfire and Timbersaw, classic partners to dump damage into the Chrono. Great partners as well because they're not really reliant on anything but experience to do big damage with the Chrono combo. So that just makes it easier, right? Even if you're from behind, you can set up some pretty good team fights to recover. That's a nice little insurance policy.
No saves.
It's also
no ping.
If you are stacking your net worth on your other 2 cores a lot, Void is still pretty good. I feel like we know that Whisper is going to be like over farmed usually. Maybe not this game, considering it was such an early Timber. Although, yeah, his lane's looking rough, isn't it? Witch Doctor Gyro, oof.
Yeah, that's omega rough. I wonder if there's any possibility they swap the lane here because it's
I don't think Time Walk
ugly.
is enough to save you from that. Like the dot is so good from Witch Doctor.
5 seconds remaining.
You can mitigate it, but you can't stop it.
Kunkka and Hoodwink bans. All right.
Wow.
I mean, the Tiny obviously could be mid. And then the Kunkka kind of points to the potential Invoker. Maybe they do it. I mean, they have Faceless Void.
Gents,
that would be a curveball.
I want to throw the reminder out there. It's always Peru first server. It will be Brazil second server for game 2. So Beast Coast, I think taking very good heroes for the ping advantage. Void in particular. That this is a good call. Something to not forget about.
That's actually something I was thinking about with these teams is they also don't play puck. Just kind of interesting.
Yeah, I feel like they don't play puck just because TA is so popular right now. I feel like it's really hard to first face the puck when you can get TA'd.
Yeah,
there's the DP. I like that.
Dude, it's been 8 months since they played puck. That's crazy.
Wow. Oh, 8 months? Okay, that's
absurd.
Since Beast Coast picked it.
That hero's been so good. I guess it kind of makes sense because Chris Luck just like doesn't play that hero. So
no.
All right.
He's like such a weird player, dude.
Yeah,
I love how unique he is, like in his hero pool.
Yeah. All right, what's it going to be? I mean, it could be the Snapfire mid, right? It's bad to 9th pick your 5 or your 4 usually, but...
Is there any 4 that can flex mid that they could pick and still keep it...
Lena?
Yeah.
That's a good snipe. Yeah, Lena's pretty legit here.
That's about it. Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
So it's mid snap, right? And they get
Now this is your 5, and this is some anti-Centaur, right? Glimpse, kinetic field, very effective. I'm excited about this, Trent. We've thrown this out there against Centaur, right? And very few actual disruptor picks. I'm excited if this is going to work.
Yeah, season 1 and season 2, he holds one of the highest win rates across the DPC as a hero that just gets picked up when there's, like he's a countering support. So
yeah. All right, that's a
I really
nasty
feel like his
Rubik
win
pick.
rate. Wow.
I like it. There's some good
saw
steals
Rubik
here.
yesterday, and I was very underwhelmed. But if there's someone to show me the way for Rubik, is Matthew. So that's very exciting. I think I'm gonna go with the Beast Coast draft. I think they have most of the things that they like. On top of it, you have this Faceless Void versus Gyro matchup, which is not good for HFN. And this is also a hero he didn't play the whole DPC, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be a test for HFN. I'm going Beast Coast with this draft. I think this is very cool. Love the mid Snapfire.
I'm going to be tunnel visioned on this mid matchup. Chris Luck, Dark Mago, both of them have popped off this season. I want to see who's going to come out ahead.
the last time I saw this matchup was Snap versus Tiny. It was Quinn versus someone. I can't remember who it was, but I wasn't sure what would happen with the armor on the Tiny. But he actually didn't go for the little shredder. He just maxed out Cookie and the Scatterblast, and he essentially just become this like super fast roaming Snapfire. Even though it's very tempting to go shredder because you'd obviously do very well versus the Tiny, right? So it's interesting in that regard, but you can also just like straight up farm a lot faster by spamming all of your stuff onto the jungle and the lanes. So tough call. I'm really curious about Whisper. I really feel like his lane could be kind of awful.
Yeah.
And then the ability to rotate after that is going to be kind of tough. Disruptor likes to play from ahead, right? So Chris Luck and Whisper both need to have decent lanes. And I'm a little concerned about that. So I think I'm actually going NoPing, I think. I actually kind of like Dark Mago's game here.
Wow. Trent, look at how far we've come. Dark Mago Tiny, final series of season 2, and you've become a bull. That makes me so happy. That makes me feel like a hipster. Because Bowie and I were talking about this literally months ago. It was like 2020 when we were talking about this. Man, that's crazy. I think NoPing are going to have a great start. I think these lanes are going to go well. But something tells me Beast Coast are going to take a couple of key mid-game fights. I think the advantage the Centaur brings in that mid-game, like around the Roche pit, they've got really good heroes to mitigate it. So if Beast Coast can hang on and make it through, I believe. But there's definitely a world where NoPing can just slaughter lanes and run down the game.
That has been their signature for Beast Coast, right? This like crazy deficit heading into the mid game, and like the second Roche fight's coming, they're 8 or 9k gold down. Oh, surely Beast Coast have lost this game, and then they just find these ridiculous team fights to turn it all around. So like they have the heroes for it this game, right? I feel like that's part of what they're drafting for.
Like when I look at this Void, I actually remember the first or second game Beast Coast played versus SG, where K1 went for this. I think it was like the Fusel Scotty build was really weird. It was obviously against a Medusa, but like he actually learned both the HP talent and the strength talent, and you get so tanky that I actually feel like not only NoPing's gonna lack damage to kill him, but the Scotty versus Gyro, he actually relies a lot on that Axe Satanic to keep fighting. And if he ever finishes the Scotty on Void, I think this game becomes so hard for NoPing. But we'll see, guys. I think we don't have a pause anymore.
Yeah, let's toss it over, dude. I'm going to lean Beast Coast, but just by a hair. Gare Bear, how are you? Final series, are we ready?
Super ready, super excited, and really Trent took the words right out of my mouth. I'm leaning the exact same way. We've seen how Beast Coast likes to play. It's kind of lose lanes, then win those mid-game fights. And Theban, they've got the heroes to do it. They've got Vision from Disruptor, Nyx to break Vision, open the map with Timbersaw, and start fights with that Chrono and Kisses. But NoPing's draft, we've seen how well they can pop off. And the trendsetters, Zyora and Bowie, talking about Dark Mago's Tiny being the key element to NoPing's success here. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. This is the game I've been looking for all season. Ever since NoPing took out Thunder Predator, I'm like, yo, this is it. This is going to be everything. And I love the drafts from both teams. I just feel like NoPing have kind of cornered themselves a little bit with this early Tiny Centaur pick, knowing that Whisper will play Timbersaw into this. So the two playmakers, the position 2 and 3, are being hard countered by his first phase Timber. That is so worrying, Gary.
And is like a conscious decision they've made? Have they allowed that to happen, knowing that Gyro and Witch Doctor will have a good lane against the Timbersaw, or is that something that they have to worry about through this game?
So they were forced into the Gyro Witch Doctor because of the Timber, and their picks were limited as well. Like we saw the Nyx first phase, which kind of stopped the Medusa from coming out, which was amazing. Yeah. I just feel like Beast Coast got their number in this game in terms of the draft, and NoPing, they can play their playstyle, they can try to get ahead early, and they're gonna have to get her early for them to actually win this game.
Look at Dark Margot.
Well, now he knows there's a word. Yep,
hello.
Yep. They sound planted.
Nice little move there. Yeah, that Radiant Ward over on the dire side of the river as well. See, very absolutely nice. Everything. Let's see if Beast Coast can actually defend this. We'll find out what their actual move is, because like Schofield, he's pressing forward. He's going to try and do the same thing.
Schofield things, yep.
Any wards? Any vision here? How about over here? Oh, no, just heroes, no vision, and he wastes his sentry.
Very sad. Minus 50 gold.
Try and line up a stun towards Matthew. Doesn't go for it in the end.
No way. They
And
got 4 bounties on Beast Coast.
Get 4 bounty runes because the backstab of K1 grabs the deep one in Radiant Triangle, and the rest of them just gathered up naturally by Beast Coast. Well, that's not a start you want as NoPing.
Oscar went for the hoof stomp. Did he dodge it with the time walk?
I don't know. He took damage. Like, K1 has spent a tango. He's down to like 500 HP.
He definitely time walked after the rune spawn, because I just saw the cooldown on the time walk. But yeah, I guess Oscar, he must have not got the hoof stomp before the rune came out, and that was his mistake there. So 4 bounty runes for Beast Coast. That's a pretty nice, solid early game lead. Being able to bring out regen first when NoPing are going to have to wait for some of these lasts before they can bring out some more.
Yeah, that interesting lane split going on top. K1's dragged his wave onto tower. Centaur's done a very similar thing. Stinger's following the pause 3 and Matthew's following the pause 1. Try and deny and get rid of some of that CS as you can. As the chat wheel spam. Beast Coast already having a lot of fun.
Yeah, Beast Coast love the chat wheels, and this top lane is going to favor Oscar quite a bit because the wave of the Void is under the tower, and Centaur's wave is in front of tier 1, so he's going to be able to get that extra regen, and the next wave is coming over too from Beast Coast. So they're in a pretty good position for NoPing here. That being said, the lane is, kind of favorable for the Rubik and the Centaur. They got more kill potential, right? Especially when they hit that level 2, level 3 timings. They got lots of bursts with that Fade Bolt, Telekinesis into Hoof Stomp. Good damage.
Some real great burst. And just looking at that top lane as a snapshot right now, both camps are unblocked. Would you like to see Rubik go and block one of these camps, or the Disruptor to maybe just walk into the large camp? Like, who do you want to do what in terms of
It has to be the Rubik, right? In this situation, when your safe lane is being pushed into the enemy, you want to get pulls of the Disruptor. So you don't want to be blocking this big camp right now. Radiant are not going to be the ones pulling. So Matthew, he should be the one at the small camp. He doesn't do that. So it's going to be unblocked. And Stinger going to have an opportunity to go and get the pulls, get the lane back for K1 here.
Well, I'll try and get that going. As down bottom lane, we've got that Gyro Witch Doctor. They've already put a decent amount of damage onto Whisper and Schofield. Both of these offlaners kind of sitting around half HP for Beast Coast. Home Missile plus Maledict. And when they get to level 2, you add in that Rocket Barrage and the Cask. They can get super obnoxious for the Timbersaw. But for now, Whisper's able just to, weather the storm. He's got enough regen. Bringing out more tangos and a ring as K1 grabs up that first blood on the Rubik. Thunderstrike. The Bashers and the Time Walk just get straight on top of him.
Got a little too out of position here. He did have a healing salve, but got killed off before he can make use of that. And Centaur, like we were talking, like the wave is in front of his tower. He's farming okay. It's just a problem with the Rubik now feeding away first blood and K1 having pretty much free farm up until now. That's really scary. That's a one guy on Beast Coast you don't want to be giving free farm to.
You don't want to give him 4 bounty runes, free farm, or all first blood, all these things. They really stack up. They do get a lift up, a good little stomp, and they'll get some vengeance in the top lane, it looks like, as Stinger gets sliced down by Oscar's Centaur. I know they can't really focus the Void, so they go for the support instead.
That's the level 2 potential right there from the Rubik and the Centaur, making use of that bottom lane. We see Pandaboo getting gone on here. Schofield does have a stun, and a Spike Carapace.
And he gets straight on top of the Witch Doctor. Good little move in from Whisper.
Nice Iron Branch.
Interesting, yeah. Gets the little branch and the chain forward. HFN, he's got 8 stick charges and another Rocket Barrage, but Whisper's already chained away. He's fine. Schofield also has Carapace to play around with. He's going to pop it last second to try and dodge away from the HFN Gyro at 4 HP. He survives, and the Timbersaws come back in to pressure HFN yet again. The courier, he's killed it off. And top lane, there's the stop. Back straight in onto K1, but he time walks the majority of it off, but he gets the instant bash.
Time lock.
The huge time lock onto Matthew.
Very nice from K1. He's also got that point in time dilation, which helps out a lot in this lane. A little bit of damage, slows. Whisper, now that he's level 3 bottom, Gary, and getting that assist too, like, he's looking solid. I don't think the Nyx needs to help him out that much anymore. We might see a Schofield just go to another lane. Yep, he's gonna go TP mid, refill the bottle. Dark Mago and Snapfire, you know, melee versus ranged. What do we say about that?
That was a real good attempt. He tried to carapace that tree toss, the tree grab thrown in by Tiny, and it could have been the carapace stun, you know, level 2 cookie and scatter blast. Maybe Dark Mago could have gone down there. It was inches away from perfection, as Beast Coast does bring the Nyx in mid. But just quickly on that mid lane, Snapfire edging out slightly ahead in the CS. Tiny is farming that small camp, trying to keep himself going. So far, very good across all 3 lanes for the Beast Coast side.
Yep, I mean, they're just playing for their levels. That's what Beast Coast do best, right? They just play for levels, they play for the mid-game timings. And top lane K1, whoa, just getting blown up. Wow, he really won that big camp creep, and you know, it's really hard to contest against the Fade Bolt, maybe putting himself a little too out of position.
And Stinger, he's gone in for this. They've got a stick charge and a Fade Bolt coming, and that's another snipe for Matthew. Top lane turns very quickly. Like you said, level 2 allowed them to get a kill on Stinger. Now we're up to level 3, level 4. K1 with a time dilation.
It's not done.
The bashes. First hit whack onto Matthew. Oscar's looking for the stomp to hold him back. K1 jumps forward and the stomp doesn't land. I do have the Ring of Health now for Centaur, though, and a bit more regen in the form of those tangos.
Just kicking him out of the lane. K1 a little bit upset that he did die there. Definitely should have. And they're trying to go on Oscar too. He does have mana for stun. The stick.
It does indeed, but the time dilation is going to slow him down. And K1, yeah, he's diving that. Another. It's just level 1 time lock, 12% chance, but it seems like he's hitting them every time on that first hit.
That time dilation is doing so much work. That early point into it, and being able to slow him and do a little bit of extra damage. Mid lane, we see a Schofield ward behind the tower. He wanted to cancel the bottle play.
Well, that's a Rubik that's coming and lifted you towards Dark Mago. You get an Observer ward down there. I guess you're kind of obfuscating and hiding the fact you've placed that vision. Just walking back in towards them.
I think he just misplayed it. He probably thought he was going in to cancel the refill on the bottle, but just ran into the Rubik and the Dark Mago Tiny after the refill already occurred. Good thing that the ward doesn't get dewarded. Like, normally, people would think, oh, he just came through here. There might be a ward behind the tower. But Matthew did not drop his sentry.
Well, this is something quite unusual now. Very often when Beast Coast are playing, we're talking about Chris Luck's rotations in towards the safe lane more often than not.
Right.
But Oscar, he's been gone on the safe lane. You know, K1 isn't level 6 yet, so very likely the reason why Chris Luck's not going there, he's gone bottom instead. Kisses towards the gyrocopter. Whisper jumps forward with another timber chain and takes down the gyro. Pandaboo's got a good Maledict on him, level 2 under the tower, and Whisper's taking a lot of damage. As Stinger dies top to Dark Mago's rotation, but Chris Luck, he walked bot, TP's top, finds the pick off onto Oscar now. A double kill for Whisper, though, as Pandaboo's destroyed in bottom lane. Beast Coast with a snappy reactions.
Yeah, Whisper is now level 7 almost, has a energy booster coming in too. Oh,
another Tombo. He's got a Fairy Fire and Raindrops on Chris Luck, so he cookies forward, but no real follow-through from K1. Is he 1 experience away? He's 6 XP away from level 6, so Chrono is coming ever so soon.
Yeah, and Dark Mago going to get his bottle refilled. Is he going to stick around?
It looks like they're trying one out toss forward. Yeah, get the Centaur on top of K1. But now, the turnaround play with a Chrono. Chris Luck doesn't have kisses. A Scatterblast going to fly across onto Oscar. But K1, he's got to ditch this. 2 seconds for the time walk. Should be able to get himself out of danger as they glimpse back the Rubik. But the left drag back still there onto Stinger. Take down the Disruptor and a killing spree for Tiny as well as a courier kill.
And K1 goes back to base to heal. That was a little too ambitious on his end. That was 2 strength heroes. They're not hitting the Tiny. Snapfire was a little too far away too. Not able to dish out any damage. in that chrono with the kisses on cooldown. But I want to go back to that first play, Gary, where Chris Luck rotated bottom that you were talking about. It was so good because HFN, he's playing Jaro. And this is, you know, the center of NoPing's team, right? HFN, like whatever hero he plays. And this hero can't really escape. It's a very slow hero. You go there, you don't even need stuns. You don't even need stuns. You just throw the kisses out and Gyrocopter just dies, right? A little bit of slow. Timber can land his spells off that. And they just got like a very easy kill onto the Gyrocopter while the Nyx Assassin was showing on the map.
Yeah, you 100% expect Chris Luck to go with kisses into the Void's lane who has Chrono and play there. And that's why they had, what, 3-4 heroes move up towards top. It was just a great unexpected play from Beast Coast to make that snap move into the jungle. Now they go. Panda Boo, stunned and cookied, and that Scatter Blast maxed out. Level 4 does a whole ton of damage at melee range. Destroys the Witch Doctor, and this is great timing for the Timbersaw now. He gets to just push the tier 1. He can swing around the map wherever he wants to, plant his body in the mid lane to maybe show into that objective, and we suddenly have a wide open map for Beast Coast, not only to farm, but to scout out positions for where they want to team fight.
Yeah, I mean, Whisper has been having a jolly old time bottom ever since he was level 3, and now with that double mana resource item for Whisper, he can just stay here forever. Doesn't even need to go middle because there's no real threat there. Maybe might want to TP top though and defend against Oscar.
Oh, the glimpse! The catch onto HFN! He's inside the field and the kisses, the carapace, it catches him! HFN! Thunderstrike, it's ended, so he does get out of there thanks to the Stampede. Now Disruptor stuck behind enemy lines. Telekinesis into the homing missile. Gets them a kill, but that was ever so close to HFN dropping.
Whisper's
good attempt from Beast Coast, but equally good reaction from NoPing as you're right. Whisper straight onto him.
Oh, wow.
Dark Margot gets slapped down. That level 4 Timber Chain closes the gap on Panda Boo. That's an awful lot of damage. This menace of Whisper's Timbersaw. He's diving under tier 2s.
Oh, nice
He wants
stun.
Panda Boo. Good little stun out. And the carapace from Matthew. It holds him back. Maledict is ticking on Whisper. He's got pretty much full stacks of the reactive armor going. The raindrop's not going to help you there. Pops his one, tries to run away, and he'll salve up. Perfectly fine to Soul Ring Arcanes and salve.
And K1 used the chrono top on Oscar, but he was not able to bring him down. Stinger is here. He might be able to get a Thunderstrike and a Glimpse play while Schofield is moving towards the Centaur. No, they're not going to try for it. Okay, so K1 chrono is on cooldown there, Gary. And Beast Coast are just going to go back to farming. I mean, they're content with what's going on, right? They got 3 lanes that they're able to farm. It's unfortunate they couldn't get that Gyrocopter kill, but they still managed to get the Tiny, and Whisper is just going to go back to doing Whisper things.
Yeah, the more and more you delay... Oh, nice sentry. Matthew gets scouted. Gonna get a turnaround onto Oscar. They nearly blow him completely up. Centaur still aiming for K1's Void. Lands the stomp. The double edge is level 1
Only
though.
level 1.
Max
Yep.
retaliate here for Oscar. But the time dilation that was stolen from Matthew has slowed K1 enough and he can't get the time walk out. So Faceless
big.
Void in the end, he does get picked off. Yeah, the time walk turned around on him. The counter to the Faceless Void. It's one of his own spells. Toss forward. Matthew being shoved in towards the Nyx. Schofield has to stun him, but that allows the cask and the tree grab to be thrown at him. Oh, Whisper wants
here.
Dark Margot.
They don't have mana on
Disruptor.
Stinger. Oh, the time dilation again on Whisper.
They're just being slowed down
So
so much. The
annoying.
kisses from the high ground. Chris Luck, he's going to get comboed though. Tiny comes forward with the avalanche, the toss. Chris Luck, the raindrops, the cookie away. He's going to stun up the Tiny. Now the Timbersaw can re-engage back onto Dark Margot with a whirling death, and they keep Chris Luck alive.
Very nice cookie there from Chris Luck. Just, you know, keeping Tiny down for just that 1 second to make space. And Whisper, the strength hero destroyer right now. He is unkillable, Gary. He's got a hood already. I don't know how they're going to bring him down. Even with Witch Doctor Maledict at this point in the game, it's only level 6 on Panda Boo. He's the king of the map. He can go anywhere he wants.
Yeah. Oh, Matthew, getting some really good steals. Catching,
Oscar's
stunning,
taking
stealing
more
Chakram now.
than they're doing to Whisper. And the damage they're doing to Whisper is 0. Nada.
Oh, man.
Well, look what he's got queued up. He's going Sand into Blade Mail.
It's gonna be for the Sanjin Kaya later. The status is this, the extra HP regen you'll get as well, which is really nice. The Blade Mail, I'm not too sold on. I feel like he can just go for bigger items this game. Whisper's gonna have an incredible game no matter what against the heroes he's playing against.
Okay, one. He's used Time Walk. I think they know exactly where he is. Avalanche toss combo, Death Ward thrown towards them. Whisper, he's just bodyguarded them though. They can't break past the Timbersaw. Oh, they tossed the Void away. He's still got Chrono to play with onto 4 of them. The Chakra is not burning onto anyone. The Static Storm's a little bit out of place. Dark Mago is still going to get jumped on by the Timbersaw. As K1 focuses Matthew. They've got the stun up onto Matthew's Rubik. He's got Chrono and he puts it onto them, but the Gyro's still dying. Chris Lock is outside of the Chrono bubble. K1's going to focus him, and Oscar stuck between 3. Dark Mago doesn't have Blink Dagger, but he does have another combo. Arcane Rune coming, but the kiss is there towards Oscar. Put one onto Dark Mago. K1 turns, maybe a bash here will secure it. A triple for Whisper, the one true carry, as we like to say, on the Beast Coast squad.
Oscar and Dark Mago, they were trying to bait out Chris Luck. You know, you saw Dark Mago going desperately for that play, but that rain drop that you can see here right now, they jump Whisper again, Maledict on him, they drop the Death Ward, and he's just being tickled the entire time. It's this massive 4-man Chrono. There's not too much damage because the Timber is inside the Chrono as well, but it keeps them locked in place for Snapfire to walk here, have some impact in this team fight. HFN completely isolated. They get the Chrono from the Rubik too, but then look at that, HFN, he just doesn't have the damage right now.
That was a Rubik Chakram as well. that was out there. I thought it was the Timbersaw's one. It was Rubik stealing Chakram yet again. Matthew is getting some decent steals, but it's just overwhelming the amount of strength Beast Coast has right now.
Yeah, you thought this Timbersaw was a problem right now? Well, Chris Luck just finished Aghanims.
Oh, here we go. Gobble up and Spit Whisper towards them. They've got so many tools at their disposal.
HFN's also being stalked by Schofield. Like, he does not feel safe whatsoever. Look at his net worth too. Have you ever seen HFN be this underfarmed in this season of DPC?
He is really that position 1 that you give all of your farm for as NoPing. He is usually top of the net worth.
Yeah.
In every single game they play.
This goes back to the draft of NoPing, right? They got the Centaur and Tiny early picks, and they are like, yo, these are our best heroes. Let's go with it. We're going to win the games. And just completely forgot about this Timbersaw. Or maybe they acknowledged the Timbersaw, but they thought they could deal with it. Clearly, they couldn't. This Timber is just stopping everything NoPing want to do.
Here's the gobble up. Straight onto Dark Margot. Stuns and kisses, landing, and that's delayed his Blink Dagger even further. Oscar's stampeding around, and he stomps Schofield, but the backstab from Whisper, he's getting turned on here with the Maledict Death Ward. Timber Chain cancelled out as well. He's out of the cooldown. Whisper, he's going to drop. The Cookie's not going to save him. He's going to pop to that final tick of the Maledict. And NoPing chasing forwards. They want to turn the tides of this one. Getting the Nyx and the Timber's great, but they need more.
Yeah.
I won't find it.
They're making the defensive position. They're baiting out Whisper. Whisper went for a little too much while they were still killing Dark Mago. So Beast Coast couldn't really help out Whisper there.
The sentry battles. Sentries
K1
dying left and right.
He's got a Chrono up again. I wonder if they're going to take a team fight without the kisses. We just need one fight, right? Where they have kisses and Chrono up at the same time.
Another gobble. Another spit. Static Storm stun. Oscar, he's kind of stuck here. Dark Mago's trying to help him out, but that toss play into the Oscar Centaur makes him lose his life. The cask is great. The Storm, Static Storm. The stun onto K1 as well. He can't get his Chrono off. Now it looks like he's out of mana. Has to pop his wand. Doesn't really want to Chrono solo onto the Rubik. Just hit into him, land some Maelstrom hits, and the time lock procs. Finish him off. And now the jump towards Pandaboo. K1 should have enough here to make the move. Whisper's going to break the vision. Scout Dark Margot. Slow him with a Chakram. Forces out the Avalanche toss play. And Witch Doctor. They're just on the back foot every step of the way. They're running backwards towards their tier 3s, and they're still dying. Whisper just doesn't give up. He is madness personified.
Just going in deep into those tier 3s. I mean, he literally just died. He does not care. He's 8-1-3. He's like, okay, you guys got lucky with the last play. You know, you're dead with half your team. I'm just gonna dive you at the tier 3. Just give information. You know, when he's doing that, they're not farming creeps, Gary. And whoever is reviving is always thinking about how to save their teammates. They're not looking like where to go out next onto the map. How do we get our next items? How do we compete against Beast Coast? All this diversion going on from Beast Coast is just making a big difference between K1 and the rest of NoPing. Look at his net worth right now. He's almost at 10k.
It's huge. Like we very often as casters talk about pressure as this, just overarching concept of pressure. But what you're describing there is the key aspect, right? They are making sure that their opponents are on the back foot. They're being pressured so they can't make their own moves. As Schofield is going to get lifted and zapped, does die in the end. And now Blink Stomp. This is maybe a nice little alleviation of the pressure. They finally get their foot forward, make the aggressive play, but K1, looking for the chrono, doesn't want to throw it just on Panda Boo and couldn't quite see Dark Mago.
Yeah, that's the double Blink Daggers coming into effect, Oscar and Dark Mago, but they do have chrono and kisses up now. NoPing completely understand that. Even with those 2 kills, they're not able to put any pressure onto the tier 1 middle. It's very scary right now for NoPing to make any other offensive plays that are not quick, right? You got to just go in, get out right away while Beast Coast are trying to react.
And HFN's probably saying, hey, I got my Aghanims like 16 minutes in. That's probably 3 minutes later than I really would have wanted to. I need my BKB. Apparently he needs a Crystallis, which he's got queued up. Needs damage desperately.
Oh, if he does not get the BKB before the Crystallis, that's going to be a huge problem because these cases, and especially the Nyx Assassin with the Spike Carapace, are going to destroy him in the team fights.
I think he's trying to bait some casters into thinking he's a wild one going for the Crystallis. Hey, he's got to go BKB. And they do smoke in. HFN shows on that mid wave.
They got a lot of stuns, Gary, on NoPing right now. Matthew has the level 4 Impale stolen. Sorry, level 3 Impale stolen. So they got Hoof Stomp, Combo. Yep,
there's the jump. Stinger. Annihilated. Beast Coast still looking to respond though. He does have buyback on Stinger as they make the jump in. The 3-man chrono is caught. No, the gyro's outside of it. They don't get HFN, but the kiss is still landing in. Down goes Matthew. Panda Boo trying to turn onto K1, and HFN still found by Whisper. Oscar's blink reinitiation, not speedy enough. The jump forward by Whisper and the gobble of K1 towards the Witch Doctor finds the 3rd kill in a row. And Beast Coast, yet again, we love to say it, they are not done just yet. They're moving up to the high ground, into the Radiant Triangle, the Tombo, the Stomp stopped out, the Static Storm. It stops the Centaur from catching K1. Dark Mago slain, and a 5-man wipe is incoming. The bash, the time lock onto Oscar, holds him in place, glimpses him in there with a Carapace as well, and every single member of NoPing shredded.
And it looks like K1 just wants to hit Ancients right now. He is a little too low on health for him to just go into a Roshan pit and start on that. So just going to push lanes out, play for farm right here. That was absolutely beautiful from Beast Coast. And we said this earlier, NoPing need to smoke or make quick plays, get 1 kill and get out. You know, Gary, they stood around too long in the mid lane, allow Beast Coast to get there and make the retaliation play. And that's how they got that massive chrono. They were just fortunate. HFN was like right on the edge of that.
Wow, this blade now is pretty cool from Whisper. It kind of reminds me of the old clock counter to gyro, where you would just hookshot blade mail cogs under the cooldown, under the rocket barrage, and stand there. And Whisper's kind of doing the same thing. Find the gyro, jump on him, and make his life a living hell.
Whatever makes him feel more comfortable. I personally do believe that he could have gone for bigger items in this situation, and that blade mail is going to take up an item slot, especially if this game goes any longer. But he feels like it's really good this game. Eventually, the Tiny and the Gyrocopter should have BKBs, which is going to help quite a bit.
Eventually,
that's exactly. That's
in game 2, maybe.
Reward. HFN, he still got that Crystallis queued up, and I'm getting a little bit worried. You saw in the last fight, he just got like Spike Carapace, stunned by Nyx. The Nyx alone is countering this Gyrocopter because he doesn't have BKB.
Yeah, that level 4 Carapace is huge for him. And, you know, we talked about it. 16, 17 minutes in, it was the double blink reveal. It was the gyro ags. That was when NoPing were meant to feel reasonably strong. Look at that. Nyx with a Carapace scouts them out. K1 time dilates and runs forward as they force the stampede. They want Schofield real bad. Try and find the Nyx pick off, but it's taken them so long he just jumps away. HFN's died to Chryslog elsewhere too. They've picked off the Gyrocopter. Down near his tier 2 tower. And they've got a glimpse back onto Oscar as well. Dark Mago's being picked off by the snap. Whisper's moving in towards the other heroes. Tiny, he wants to get in on top of Chris Luck, but the 2-man, the stun from Schofield beautifully sets up the 3-hero chrono from K1. Oh, it's huge from Beast Coast. Dark Mago, try as he will, tosses them back, but it looks just GG. Over. He's called GG. HFN's out of there. Beast Coast with a game 1 victory.
That was a little unexpected, but then again, you know, they don't want to stay in this game and feel demoralized. I would agree with that, at least. Yep, it was pretty over. It was pretty over. Let's be real here. Beast Coast, you know, they completely outdrafted NoPing here, and it was like a complete disaster. I did not like their opener with the Centaur and the Tiny, and the Beast Coast completely punished that with a 1 Timber pick. Next game, there's no way they're going for the Centaur Tiny again. There's no way, especially if Timber's in the pool. If Timber's out of the pool, you can consider it. NoPing just couldn't play this game